I mean, when you're going through the desert and this truck is just, it's just, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you're literally on the verge of dying every mile.
This is a very patient sport, and CJ is not really good with patience.
Rock quarries that they're going through, like you can flip and they could not find you for a long time.
Even though he's feeling good now, he's got some back issues and stuff going on, but what is it going to be when he's 50 or 60?
So like his concussions have been a struggle. Like I haven't been around for as much of that as, like his mom and his family have been, but his physical well-being and having his back broken before, and I've put a very good spot on him. Like, hi, you can sometimes tap out. Like you're not a robot. Like
one day it's going to come down to me stopping racing. So. Trucks don't like to go slow. It sounds so crazy. Like the faster and the harder you drive it, the better the truck works.
The neurologist, and she pretty much told him, you're done. You're done racing. You don't need to do this. But he's a hardhead. And he was like, this is what I love to do, and this is what I'm going to do. If I die doing this, it's because I've died doing what I love doing.
CJ sees a little dust out there, and he's like, we're not here to check up. We're here to smash rear bumpers. Trying to slow him down, and CJ always wants to do 1,000 miles an hour. You gotta remember, it's a long race. You want to make friends with everybody so they can get around, because when you start making enemies, those enemies are hard to shake off. And he definitely doesn't want my truck as an enemy. He's covering the thing. I can't go in.
I'm covering shit.
I'm about bruised up this week. Not from fucking desert racing. From air hockey.
1-1, baby. Let's go.
Chris, I think you're right. Right? Isn't it bullshit?
Her name's Breeze. It's the his Instacart order lady. Look at him. I think they're having a moment right now.
Oh yeah, he's in love.
We're set for 2 days.
At
least 2 days.
You get a number?
For what?
Well, if you like getting people's phone numbers like the lady in Dallas. You gotta get this on camera. This is how reality TV works. Get in the kitchen and start cooking.
Damn it. Go.
I don't know why they wash grapes.
What?
Yeah, what?
Pesticides? This house got like all the games you can think of.
Oh man, it's got a hot tub.
Feels like we're in junior high again.
Oh man, damn it, Chuck. Oh, that was a good one. Oh.
The Mint 400 is a very difficult race, only because it gets 3 times the rough by the end of the race. And I think some of the reasons now that this race is going to be even tougher is we're getting more trucks that are running the 40-inch tires. And the 40-inch tires make a big difference compared to vehicles that are running like 30-inch tires, 35-inch tires. So it just really tears it up. And if the dirt's a little wet out there, it even makes it way harder on all the whoops and the jump stuff.
Being involved in the Mint 400, whether you're spectating or whether you're racing, you're a part of a piece of history. It's something that's very iconic that people that I looked up to as a kid, you know, Mickey Thompson, people along those lines. I also look up to BJ Baldwin. These guys that have run the Mint, they've won the Mint, they've done so well in off-road racing, and they're like what you aspire to be, because the skill set that is at the Mint, those are the best of the best guys. If you're not at the Mint, you're nobody.
400 miles, you know, just drive your car on the road 400 miles in a day. Like, that's mentally taxing, you know. We're doing it over ruts and hills and bumps, and there's dust, and people are trying to pass you or trying to pass people.
It's the biggest off-road race in the entire United States, and it is the most difficult and mind-bending race of all time because so much happens. The track and course gets rougher and rougher and rougher, and I'll be honest with you, it sucks at the end. It really does. So we're about to drive through the parade, which will be fun. Oh, you're good, Chuck. Come on in here, man. You're gonna be driving too. So Chuck's driving the Recycle-Wise truck here. I'm driving, obviously, the Rigid and Motivated truck. And we're about to go all the way. They're going to shut the entire strip down, and we're going to drive all the way down to Fremont Street, basically using Las Vegas Boulevard. It's a really cool way for people who don't know what's going on this weekend, or they may have flown in just to gamble their money away and give it to the casinos. So maybe we can get, you know, a couple bucks out of them to come see the race and entice them to see what off-road racing is about. Way better than going in a circle, right, Chuck?
Way better than going to circle. Way better.
Them wheels, boy.
Woo! You got the number in?
Buddy, that's fresh as hell. Although they don't give me money, so let's not get the logo on it. I'm just kidding.
It was a really cool experience. Actually, this year it was longer on the strip. Last year I got to watch on the sidelines. But just seeing all the fans, I guess, on the side and little kids, and it's a really cool experience, and I'm glad like they get to do it. It's definitely like a nostalgia thing going down to Fremont Street, and tomorrow's even cooler. You know, they shut down Fremont Street to like all the locals and people who come into town. It's definitely a cool experience, and it was definitely cool to ride along. I don't know if I could endure the whole Mint 400 with CJ driving, but it's 100% a cool experience to like be able to ride in the truck.
We're doing both. It was like,
Surfing.
Like a Tupac pose.
Is that just movie? Feel that? I think it's like 5 cents.
Yeah, they're supposed to.
Hang on, everybody
I
jump.
like it.
Everybody on the count of 3 jump. 1, 2, 3. That was
That
shitty.
is really bad.
1, 2, 3. The whole thing collapses. We're gonna go see a show tonight. It's kind of like a weird day. We had the parade led into the nighttime, and we went at Oscar Steakhouse for the second time this week. So now we're gonna go see Carrot Top, who, it's kind of weird. My 21st birthday, I was here, and he noticed me from back when he was like a grand marshal at one of the NASCAR races. So I took a shot with him. And he's aged a lot. I hope he doesn't watch this. It'd be fucked up if he hears this. He's aged a lot because, like,
You've aged a lot too, buddy.
listen, asshole.
Wait, he took a couple years off today.
That's true. You're right. You're right.
Hey,
you look like a little
minus
baby.
minus 3
Wait.
years.
If you had to say, if you didn't know how old I was, how old am I now with this?
37.
Probably 5 years younger.
Hey,
Gosh,
everybody.
you don't want to go back to
35.
25.
If you go to shopmotivated.com
You don't wanna go back to
and you
25.
shave, no, 25 was a bad year for me. Never mind.
And 26 and 27.
Your dad kind of was your dad kind of the one that pushed you down the path of racing?
Yeah.
You think that just kind of like stuck with you? And what do you think he would think now of like all the stuff that you're doing?
Honestly, I think my dad would think I'm downright crazy. I really do. I think he would think I'm a total nut job for going out in the desert, no safety trucks around. Like, my dad was big like on safety, but yeah, I think my dad would think I'm nuts. I really do. And my dad hated sprint cars, so that was one of the reasons I got out, and I really wanted to do something different. But I wanted to do something that was different for me, because I would go to the track and, like, this sounds crazy, but so my dad dies. A year later, Bridgeport Speedway puts up a race. It's the Ron Faison Memorial, and before then I finished third, second, and third leading up to that race.
Too loose. Faison will grab the lead at the white flag.
Belair, no, he's gonna fade now in second. CJ Faison, the lead out of turn 4. The Ron Faison Memorial will go to his son. CJ Faison wins it.
My dad's race, I won the race. It was super emotional, and the first thing I did, I went back to my race rig, and for whatever reason, because like when my dad was sick, he couldn't come to the races, so I would call him after every race. I won his memorial race, and the first thing I do is pick up my phone and I call his cell phone and went right to voicemail, and it was like that. I think that's when it really set in, like, oh shit, he's like really, really gone.
With his dad dying, that was his best friend. I mean, truly, they were best friends. Even though they were father and son, they just had a special bond, special relationship. So he took it hard, but he tries to hide it. And he still takes it hard. I can tell. There's a lot of days where you can just tell something's on his mind. He used to call and talk to his dad 3 or 4 times a day, if not more. Sometimes I wish he would open up more. I think he's probably opened up more with Chelsea and to Chelsea, which she's been a godsend to him for that reason, because they can talk about stuff. But still, I think he holds a lot in. But I know he misses his dad terribly. He won the memorial race of his dad's. He wanted that so bad. Number one, because it was a memorial race for his dad. And when he won that, it was just, I mean, I think everybody's heart in the stands was just racing, ready for him to win that race. And when he did, and I'll just never forget that picture of him just, praising God, but also looking up to his dad, like, thank you, and I did this for you. That was really cool.
So the loss of his dad, so we kind of connect on that. I'm not going to go into like my life, but like I lost my brother at a really young age, and I've pulled a lot out of him.
He dies, and then I have to step up and be the man of the family for everybody. I let everyone else mourn and be the shoulder to lean on, and yeah, then I went to work for, I guess, 3 years solid, as hard as I could. This was a photo shoot and video shoot with Rigid this morning. So had the helicopter, trophy truck. In my opinion, it does not get any sexier than that.
Helicopters. I got to drive the trophy truck, dude. That was sick. That was sick. Get that.
Oh, you guys can go, yeah. Good.
Probably over here.
Rico Suave?
What's up, Holmes?
Nope.
Talk about the mustache. So what do we do?
Well, my former porn name was Doug Deeper, and I figured I would match that energy with the stash. And to be honest with you, I've never worn a flat bill hat in my entire life. This is a first. This isn't an actual drink, it's just a drink of choice. It's a water, sparkling water.
We get a picture of it and just Photoshop your name over the side.
Man, it's hotter than 2 dogs screwing in a sack out here. You like my analogies?
What does that look like?
When you put 2 dogs in a sack and they're screwing, it's gonna get hot.
Is it like fabric? Is
They
it
might not want to screw if they're in a sack together.
Well, if they did screw in a sack, it'd be hot. Yeah. Y'all make my little innuendos so difficult sometimes. Why is the dog screwing in a sack? How'd they get in a sack?
Nothing floors me, whatever comes out of his mouth. I'm just like, that's CJ.
Like, how do you know?
What's that?
Get your hair up. Looks good.
That's what I do every day now. I just want to go.
His girl's coming into town.
right.
His girl's coming to town.
This was like 3 minutes this morning because everyone's like, oh, I'm ready as I'm stepping out of the shower. I was like, guess we're not leaving at 6:30.
It's gonna be rocking tonight.
You guys better put your headphones on.
Hang on a second. Sweet. CJ Faison.
So just to see NJ?
Yep. Faison.
Number 269?
Yep, that's me.
What day are you racing?
Saturday, and then we're pre-running tomorrow.
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I will be there.
Buffalo Bills.
Wristbands.
Okay.
For passes or anything.
Awesome. What was your name?
Katie.
Katie, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
So we just got here to Fremont, and this whole entire strip they shut down for all the race vehicles to go through it. And basically you go through tech and contingency. This is technically both of our second year doing this, and I've got the rugged radios, autograph signing later on, and then you have dinner planned.
Yeah, that's the most important part of the day.
Where are we going to dinner at? Where are we going to dinner?
Little steak again.
Steak and Anthony's, baby. It's the best. Well, I can't say that. They're not paying me. It's a really good steakhouse. So technically, we're second cousins.
You are?
Yeah.
He dated my sister before I dated her.
Awesome.
Heck yeah, dude.
Nice to meet you, Andy. Definitely.
Yeah, man. All right, just got done autograph session at the Rugged Radios booth. Looks like a little bit of rain moving in. I'm hoping it rains in Prim, because if we get a little bit of rain, it'll be less dusty, which would be nice. And then overall, if we can get a little bit of rain on the race course, it's going to make it to where we can pass people a little bit easier. Because like, you don't think about the dust, but you're coming up behind somebody and you're in their dust. It's tough. It really, really is. So. Well, pre-running is not going as well as we expected. Got something wrong with the power steering, and I think we just lost an alternator, which then drained the batteries. They're dual alternator, so I don't really know. But anyway, we took the body off the truck except for the hood and the roof, just in case, I wanted to get a little wild. But I didn't have enough opportunity to get wild yet. So we were at race mile 62 out of like 100 some. So we're literally smack dead in the middle of the course out here. Like there's nothing going on. Chris and I are about to play 20 questions and possibly play rock, paper, scissors, and hell, I don't know, maybe even like hide and seek. That'd be fun, yeah. Until a lizard bites your ass or a snake gets you. So anyway, we're waiting on rescue to come here and get us, and I don't know how many hours we're going to be here. We might even miss qualifying at this point, so I don't know. Stay tuned.
Was it yesterday or the other day before?
Yesterday. Headed out to try and fix them. Really not my vibe, but I'm stepping out. CJ and Chris broke down around mile marker 62 in practice. So I jumped in one of the chase trucks with Ryan from Brenthal, and They are trying to rescue him so that he's getting towed back to Gonzo. So we just got here to the Gonzo pit. It's kind of hard to see. So we're going to wait for them to be towed in, hopefully, and get them back out for practice or get ready for qualifying.
All right, so we moved from right there. We rolled the trophy truck backwards because it does not run right now for whatever reason. We finally have rescue here, and we are in a pickle. Basically, this guy has got himself in a pickle. We were in a pickle, so everybody's honestly in a pickle. So.
Oh, the pilot, Jason, the helicopter pilot, came over.
Literally at the entrance.
Uh-huh.
Like, what are we supposed to do with that? Oh, Jason's there.
Whoop! The helicopter pilot?
Oh, they left the hood on?
For the pre-ride. Holy shit, you gotta be a little...
Okay, we found them finally. Okay. So they couldn't get to the Gonzo pit, so we had to come, they towed him out here by the Jean Airport at the abandoned Terribles Hotel.
Truck died? Was it overheating? Was it overheating?
When it shut off, it said
When it shut off, it started overheating, but it was dumping fluid out there. From the bottom, like you can see on the belly pan.
Yeah, so
it's soaked all the way from the center all the way back.
He's come out here and put in the work. Here's CJ here, and man, he's been racing a lot, and it's good to have him out here, and he brings a complete different set of eyeballs to the sport of off-road because of what his quote occupation is.
So it may be my old ears, but tell me about Ghost Hunter.
So he's got a YouTube channel. It's like I said, with an insane following, and he goes to like these old asylums and stuff, and spends the night in there, and has all the paranormal stuff to check for ghosts and things like that.
Does he glow in the dark?
I don't know. I've never seen him in the dark. Maybe that's it. He only comes out in the daylight, Bob. He's like,
could happen.
Now, Ricky, I was just watching that. That was a real head snapper.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. What do you want off of that? You don't want to be too nose high, because then when you land in the front, really slaps hard. You don't want to be perfectly flat, because then it goes to the chassis. So if I was coaching somebody, I would say just have your front wheels hit one instant before the back. That way that starts to absorb, and then your rear starts to absorb as well. And so this is when we were talking, when Brian was talking to the IBOC folks about the dual rate spring. They have the softer spring.
It was just rough. We started pre-running. We got 62.5 miles in, and the truck basically just no power. We're driving along, going through this really, really technical section, and it was uphill, and we lost power immediately. So I jump off the race course, off to the side about 10 feet off, and after that, we were trying to diagnose the truck. At first, I thought the power steering was going out. I thought we were going to throw like a serpentine belt, is what it felt like originally, because the power steering was coming in and out, in and out, in and out. But actually what was happening was there was a short, I believe on the ground, on the starter. So it was basically just kind of like jumping and sparking, and caused a big electrical issue in the truck. So we waited about 2 hours until somebody came to us. We finally got out. We almost didn't make qualifying. The Brinto guys got the truck completely fixed up and ready to qualify. I was actually very surprised that we could even get out there and qualify. I honestly didn't think we could qualify. So because just the time to get out of the race course to get back here, for them to diagnose it, it was a long time. So overall, qualifying went good. Helicopter, of course, made me go about 10 more miles an hour faster. So yeah, but we sent it and had a good time. So now the real work begins, which is tomorrow morning. 400 brutal fucking miles. Brutal. It's quite dry again.
We did 4 laps last year, right?
What's that?
We did 4 laps last year, right? Yeah. We had some sketchy moments, just, you know, these jumps and rollers, and like, no, I'm not lying, they're almost up to here. You're just jumping, the truck's going all over the place. We just had like a small part failure this morning, nothing crazy. I'm glad we caught it today before it was tomorrow for the race. So we got towed out, which was a journey. We'll talk about that another time. It was quite the journey. But the guys got the truck back fixed and ready for qualifying, and we just went out and had our best qualifying session yet. We're only 4 races in, you know, sometimes we forget that. So it was a good start to the day. I think qualifying was good because he had seat time this morning. I think that helps a ton. Normally we have to just get in on a Thursday or Friday after weeks off, and you have to go actually just drive that truck to full potential. So we beat some of the guys around us we wanted to beat, which is really good. Gapped some of the guys we didn't expect to gap, but it was a good qualifying. So looking forward to tomorrow.
Got it.
Yeah. I get ridiculed for that. They're like, you do all this cool stuff and you don't even post it on YouTube. So I'm doing it now. That's what the camera people are here for. So.
You know what? Here's all I have to say is, you know what we're going to be doing is checking out YouTube to find out what this guy does.
A lot of different stuff.
Let's get on in, Jane. This was High Octane Hustle.
I'm Vaseline Jane.
I'm Design Muse, and this was
CJ Faison.
Woo! This is the Min 400.
Hey, thank y'all so much. Very nice to meet you.
That was awesome. That's great. Good luck out there.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Y'all have.
Yeah, what time's that?
5 o'clock.
Okay. All right, we got time.
It's not Christine.
Okay. Who is it?
Her friend Maggie, because she couldn't do later than 4 o'clock. She said she'll be fine. Dan doesn't work there. She quit.
The last time that he went to the doctor with all this was a neurologist, and she pretty much told him, you're done racing, you don't need to do this. But he's a hardhead, and he was like, this is what I love to do, and this is what I'm going to do. If I die doing this, it's because I've died doing what I love doing. So, and it's, you know, what are you going to do? Are you going to argue with that?
So he's eating healthier and he feels better, and he's always struggled with headaches, and I'm gonna toot my own horn a little bit, and he hasn't had many headaches at all. He actually felt pretty good at getting out of the trophy truck today for practice, but it's definitely a change, like to see someone go through that, like in their eyes, and have headaches every single day. So I strive to try and keep him healthy so he doesn't get there. Today we had IVs and he threw a fit, but at the end of it he's like, gosh, I do feel really good.
He would have these attacks that would come about, and I would get a call that, you know, CJ is in the shower and he's just, we're in the fetal position and we can't get him up. And he's had the ambulance called a couple times to come and take him to the hospital.
CJ's a great driver. He knows what he's doing, and I trust him. But there's not many people I would trust to get in that truck and just ride for 400 miles, but I do trust his driving. So,
what we do in the desert is tenfold harder than any other form of motorsports I've done. I've done a lot, but it's not like this. It is tough. Like, these guys are just like, they're the most talented group of people I personally think that walk the face of the earth. And I have got a long way to go in order to catch up to these guys. PCI. This truck.
All right, Chelsea, has it been an eventful morning so far, or no?
It has, but it's okay.
What's been going on?
Not eventful, but he just gets in his head.
About what?
And gets like pissy, but I don't know. Anything he can.
What about you? Eventful morning for you? Same thing? Just kind of watching everything unfold?
Yeah, just
chilly out here.
Yeah, it's a little cold, but we're awake. We're here, ready to go.
We slept in today.
Digging the dirt.
We slept in 5:45.
5:30 for me.
Okay, it was 5:45.
So yeah, we'll see how this truck does today, and hopefully it'll all hold together. CJ wants you to go up with us in a helicopter today and get some shots.
Cool.
They don't want me to do it.
Of course. CJ did that on purpose. And I guarantee he told Jason to fuck with me. 1,000%. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
It wasn't his idea, it was mine.
Of course.
So right now we're gonna head down to the pits. We're gonna go over to the Terrible Harps Motorsports team, and my buddy Ryan Arciero. Just want to talk to him and kind of see what's going on down there on that side of the camp. Other than that, we gotta get suited up, dressed for race day. That dinging is really annoying. There's got to be a way to turn this off. Like if I owned this vehicle, I'd like bust the speakers out of this. Wouldn't you?
No.
People always ask us. Huh?
Show it closer.
This is my lunch right there. You put those in my little side pouch bag, and as I'm coming through certain pits, if I'm hungry, I'll just squeeze one of those in the mouth and keep on going. So here goes nothing.
How many do you have?
I got 4. 4 might not be enough. I get hungry.
What is that?
That is my catheter tube.
So
Lovely.
There you go. So he basically has, it's like really weird. Look it up.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
But what it is it's fun to put on, especially if your wife's at the race.
Good morning.
Morning. Hey, you gonna be proud of me. I got a kidney belt and I got a catheter on.
Catheter, you want catheter?
Oh yeah, buddy.
It was great.
Are you just running a kidney belt or catheter or or both?
Kidney.
That's hardcore.
Let's do it. Remember, there's no air vent, so it doesn't come out as fast.
Right.
Oh.
And when you crawl back in the truck, make sure you know where you're putting your feet because you're going to have leakage.
Oh boy.
Hey, the ones I invent are going to have an air hose that just comes out like this.
Oh hell no. You gotta pee up?
So you got air coming down there and it'll
A little CO2 cartridge so you get a little extra boost.
Is this the smartest or dumbest fucking thing I could ever do to put him in the truck?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, he's a wheelman.
Promise?
I promise.
All
Yeah,
right.
we've been talking about he's
All
a
right.
wheelman.
All
He
right.
can drive. So, what he can drive best is his finger straight up his ass. So.
Damn. So when you call and ask, it's like, hey, you want to drive my truck? I'm like, what do you mean drive your truck? You want me to pull a trailer?
Right.
I can back a trailer.
Do that, yeah.
And then we got here and I said, oh,
I'm talking full-fledged.
oh, big truck.
We were talking about all the shifting and how to run. I think he's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
It just, unfortunately, I wish there was more course before the big shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
you come
yeah.
off the lake bed, you're in the fucking
You're in the sticks.
right off the bat, and then you get to go.
And we
slow
start
down.
right in front of the crowd. That's what I'm pumped about. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, Dustin, you've never driven a trophy truck before. Get in and drive right in front of the
when
crowd.
you're gonna take that first corner, it's gonna go wow, and bog down, and you're like, God damn, down. This is so stupid.
Right in
Because
front
you're
of
Can-Am,
everybody.
you're like used to pitching. This is it's gonna be a different animal, but you'll be
Like
all right.
driving your grandma's Cadillac around.
It is.
But you're already starting in the crowd after the lap. They're not like.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
He
For
got
y'all,
that- he
they're
got
going to be
that
standing here
pressure.
just staring at y'all.
this, it's the start-finish line of the Mint 400, and you're about to take the green flag, and they let 2 trucks go every 60 seconds. So the most important thing is to get a jump on the guy that you're starting against, because you have a 60-second gap between the set of trucks that were before you. But if you get behind this guy beside me, I'm gonna be in his dust for the remainder of the time until I can find a passing lane to get around him. It is extremely difficult to drive in dust. So instantly I get the whole shot. The jitters are still going. It takes a couple of miles to finally like settle in. We go to the first corner. I wash the truck up pretty good. We turn back around. It was like basically like a 180. We go over a jump. As soon as we get to that jump, I drive it in deep into the next corner, and I'm like, all right, cool, we're doing good. I'm kind of getting into a rhythm at that point. And then a couple of mistakes happened, and that is where off-road racing will bite you. The mistakes you make in the beginning are always the worst, I feel, and you can make mistakes in the end of the race too, but man, in the first part, it's so hard to get track position on somebody. So going through that short course section, I made a ton of mistakes, and then of course I made a crucial mistake that almost cost us a lot of time. I go deep into this one corner, I wash up, and the nose of the truck, I couldn't get it rolled over, and I kind of popped the front of the truck up a little bit, lost some steering, and here this guy comes. He's right there on us, and I couldn't cut the corner because we were going to collide, so I let him take that position. We get over that big hill. We go into another part of the short course section where he completely overdrives the truck. I mean, completely. So I dive in there, and yeah, I actually gave him a little nudge on the rear just to let him know, hey, we're here. I'm going to take the position. I'm going to get really aggressive. So he knew we were faster, which was a good thing. But ultimately, it's all about getting in front of somebody. It really is, because the dust is terrible at the Mint. The wind was not really blowing that much, so the dust does not blow away. It just sits stagnant in the air until it falls to the ground again. And by that time, here come another truck, so you're kind of screwed by that. So coming up to the lake bed, we got in some rough sections there, and that's kind of the fun part. But getting on that dry lake bed, you've really got to watch your temperatures, especially as you're 300 miles into a race. That can become quite costly if you're not paying attention to your temperatures, or you're over revving your engine. So I think we got up to a little bit over 100 on the lake bed, which was pretty good. There was a headwind, which kind of slowed us down. We would typically get to 110, 112 on that dry lake bed. And then comes a bit of what I call a mid-grade whoop section, which is pretty brutal because you make a mistake in there. There's some berms and some sand walls that could probably end your day really quickly. But overall, we were going through there, and then we get jammed up at the chokers where you gotta slow the truck down a lot actually. And that's probably that's the worst section, because I flipped over there in the choker section last year at the Mint, and that was not great. We lost probably 30 minutes of time trying to get that truck flipped back over. But I'll tell you, the worst section is coming up to the high-speed whoop section, because there are what I call craters, and the truck is just down, up, down, up, down, up. And it's kind of hard to get into the rhythm through that section, just because there's really nothing you can do to get on top of those big craters. And then of course I get to the high-speed whoop section, which is honestly my favorite, and I just didn't have enough speed coming through there, so we couldn't get on top of the whoops, and it was nearly impossible to start a quarter of the way and try to get on top. So I rode the side. The fans probably didn't really like that too much, because the truck, only the left or the right side of the truck was going up, and I was just trying to make it through that section. And I knew coming up behind me, the guy was, if he got on top of the whoops, he was going to blow right by us running 85, and I think we were running like 65 or 70. If you don't hit that section running 85 plus, it's pretty hard to stay on top of those whoops. Oh boy, and then you go to the Fox Proving Grounds, where it was whooped out and so rough. I mean, just cow. I mean, it was bad, but overall, like, that's an area where like you're either gonna make up time or lose a ton of time as well. And Chris and I, we kind of figured if we could get there through there as quickly as possible without absolutely destroying the truck, we could probably continue catching dust that we saw ahead. When you see dust, you don't really know how far that guy or girl is in front of you, and I knew we were catching and making up some ground because then we got to the road crossing to where spectator area 1 was, and we were hammered down. Like, I was hell bent on catching this guy. The problem is, like, you all don't get to see like how dusty it really is. Like, the problem is on the GoPro, the dust doesn't look that bad, but it's so terrible. Like, you're driving through, you're like squinting because like you think you're gonna see better for some reason. And yeah, we were going through this whooped out section right before we get to like the rock quarry area, and man, we were digging, and all of a sudden the dust got too bad, and I got out of the throttle a little bit. We lost our rhythm with the whoops, and boy, oh boy, we almost made a mistake and kind of, you know, we almost stepped on ourselves there. But yeah, it was bad, the dust was, but I knew the guy behind me was dealing with the same thing. So if I'm catching the guy in front of me, I don't know what the guy behind me is about to do. I don't need to let him get in front of us. So, I mean, we were basically in chase mode at that point, as hard, fast, and furious as we could go. I knew if I could make up some time on the guy in front of me, we were gonna be okay. But like, y'all, listen up when I say this. This stuff is so much fun. Like, this is the most fun racing I've ever had in my life. I have a freaking blast doing this, right? I don't know why I do it, but I just do it. It financially does not make sense, but it's one of these sports where, like, man, it's so addicting. And looking back at this race footage, I'm like, gosh, this is why I do it right here. So yeah, we continued on. We got to the shooting range. We still see a ton of dust. Really hard to navigate the terrain, knowing that there's a lot of dips and a lot of G-outs in those spots. And you know, you G out and the rear end of the truck can come up, and you can basically do a front flip essentially in some of these spots. And yeah, it was not fun. I can tell you, I knew that there was a couple of passing lanes coming up. The first passing lane that I took, I thought he was in, but then he wasn't, so we were good, and I kind of made a mistake. I lost some ground on him there because I think I jumped in the right lane after I realized he was in the left, and we started going for it, and you know, the helicopter's up above and chasing us, and we're chasing the truck in front of us, and all I could think of is, I'm like, man, if I can just beat him to this next corner, we're gonna be good. And then he had dust in front of him that I could see. So I'm like, wow, we're getting close to 2 trucks now. Like, this is gonna be good. Sure enough, we're coming up through these whoops, and my navigator, Chris, he's like, stay in it, stay in it, stay in it, stay in it. You got 1,000 feet, you got 500 feet. And then I could see his truck, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna dive it in there and do a slide job, like dirt track style on this guy. And he had the outside line and kind of arc that corner a little bit, and I had to get the truck woed up because we were carrying way too much speed. And then bam, we're in dust again. And I'm just like, golly day, we just couldn't catch a break. And I knew we were screwed, right? Because for the next 4 to 5 miles, it's just nothing but single lane, and I'd have to get out in like what I call the desert weeds and just start clipping some trees down basically, because there was nowhere else to pass. So I knew I had to set up my next run on this guy, potentially in the Joshua Tree Highway and up near Beer Bottle Pass. So the next section we're coming up to is this nice tight and technical and rocky section, and sure enough, bam, all hell breaks loose. I hit a rock. I knew it when I did it too. I even told Chris over the radio, I'm like, I messed up. And then the brake pedal starts to go away. And I'm doing like, if you've ever raced anything and you're losing brakes, pump, 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 and it builds up the brakes. Well, here I go again, and I had too much speed. Bam, we hit another rock, and it severed the right front brake line clean off the truck. Now we've got no brakes. We do have a brake bias switch in there that I can turn off front brakes or I can turn off rear brakes, and for whatever reason, that did not do it for me whatsoever. I couldn't get that to basically jive in the truck. So here we are, I'm limping it all the way to Gonzo Pit, and it was just chaotic. We went through the sand whoops at about half the speed we should have. That was a little rough on the truck. We did lose 2 positions. We get to Gonzo Pit, and sure enough, they confirmed what I already knew. Right front brake line was completely shut off.
Right there's a 12 spot.
You got some fluid on this corner.
Is it?
Yeah.
So So hey, listen, the Brenthal crew that were at the Gonzo pit, I think it was 3 or 4 of them, they got me all fixed up. We went right back out there. They basically patched the truck temporarily. So we get back out there on race course. Now when I'm hitting the brake, I have no right front brake, but I have left front, left rear, right rear. So when I'm going into a corner and braking, the truck wants to really yaw to the right a lot. So I'm kind of hitting the brakes really hard and the truck wants to yaw out a little bit. It took a little bit to get used to, but from Gonzo Pit, you know, we went through Beer Bottle Pass, we went through the Joshua Tree Highway. We get outside the Joshua Tree Highway and bam, another problem hits us. And this time, it's the power steering. No power steering for the last 7 miles. And I don't know if you've ever driven a trophy truck before. It's very exhausting, but when you have no power steering, this isn't like a dirt track car or even an asphalt road course car. Like, you've got 7,000 pounds, uneven terrain, and you're turning left and right and on the throttle, on the brakes.
What is the next truck? 269. 269 is the next truck coming in.
His power steering issues, or?
Yeah, we're gonna.
269 to Brenthal. We need power steering. I need a right front brake line and 4 new tires.
Truck 269 from Brenthal main pit. Copy. We need to repair a power steering issue, a front right brake line, and new tires.
That way, someone else is behind them. You still hit that one. And then once they're done, we're gonna pull them off the mat into the dirt. Keep moving, confirm that your trans fans are operable. If not, hit the switch to override it and turn them on. How far back is he? Like 10 miles down 269?
No, like 2.
2 minutes?
2 miles.
2 miles.
We get to the main pit, we pull over, and we are losing more time. And I'm pissed at this point, but I'm like, you know what? I can't complain in the end because I'm in a trophy truck. I'm doing what someone freaking loves and dreams of doing. So your worst day in a trophy truck is better than some people's best day in their entire life. Humble yourself, remember that. That's what I had to do. So we get out of the main pit, going back out there, and boy, oh boy, we thought we were smooth sailing. We're gonna make up some time, start passing some guys again, and that was not the case. bam, we're going through the spectator section, and something wasn't right with the truck. I'm like, man, something's not right here. The steering felt weird again, and I slowed down because I'm like, man, if we mess up in this section here, this is going to end really badly for us. And I'm glad that I did, but I for whatever reason, I'm like, screw it. Nail the gas again. Going through those mid-grade whoops, and they're big rollers is what I call them, but they're still whoops. And we were getting on top of them, and next thing I know, the power steering, and you can see my arms are like, uh-oh. And as soon as I did that, I let off the gas, and man, it's what we call the death whoop, is what Chris and I call it, because you're going through whoops, you let off, and that's like the death of the truck, right? Well, I let off, we hit a whoop, and we kind of G'd out, and when we G'd out, we came back down, and the truck went, well, caw-caw. We saw the ground, and you hear it in the truck. Woof. Back up in the air we go again, and you're hoping that the rear of the truck doesn't clip the top of the next whoop and send you end over end. And man, we got lucky. But that feeling in your heart, like every racer who races off-road, you know that feeling. I don't think it's something I'll ever get used to, but man, that sucked. We pulled over, now we're outside the truck, and we lost power steering again. So I immediately get out. I told Chris, I'm like, stay in the truck. I'm like, wind the wheel to the left, wind the wheel to the right, and nothing was working whatsoever. Like, we would have power steering, it would come and go and come and go. Well, I guess I'm thinking the only thing that could have happened was when they were replacing the steering pump, I'm thinking that something nicked a line or something happened where the line was chafed. And sure enough, there was a little bit of air bleed getting in there, and it was slowly leaking. And then I got up underneath the truck and I saw that. So we take the hood off. I'm like, all right, so if we can repair this line, we can get back out there. That didn't happen. We had to go back to the Gene Hurst pit. We get through there, the guys repaired that, and then it's pretty much smooth sailing until we bring it back to the pits.
Across the country, here we go back. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us. Here we go back. This is the moment, tonight is the night. We'll fight till it's over, so we put our hands up like the ceiling can't hold us. Like the ceiling can't hold us.
Nah, can I kick it? Thank you, yeah, I'm so damn grateful. I grew up really wanna go fronts, but that's what you get when Wu-Tang raised you. Y'all can't stop me, go hard like I got an 808 in my heartbeat. And I'm eating at the beat like it gave a little speed to a great white shark on shark week. Raw, time to go up, gone, deuces goodbye. I got a world to see, and my girl, she wanna see Rome. Caesar make you a believer, nah, I never ever did it for a throne. That validation comes from giving it back to the people. Now sing this song and it goes like, raise those hands, this is our party. We came here to live life like nobody was watching. I got my city right behind me. If I fall, they got me. Learn from that